When government interferes and overregulates, there is inevitably a trail of unintended consequences left in its path, usually wreckage. Like when government tried to institute fairness in home lending. Everybody deserves a home. That's what both the Republicans and the Democrats said. Everybody, it's the American dream. No, it is not. Well, what did they do when they said that was the American dream? They decided, well, let's loosen up some of the requirements for home loans. You know what I mean? Banks, you don't need ID or anything else. People who really couldn't afford homes, oh, they bought them. Shockingly now, these people are defaulting, and we're currently paying the price for it. But don't worry. Once again, government, they created the problem. They're here to save the day now. President Obama wants to solve these problems with the banking industry by instituting major bank reforms. His solution? We ought to cap the size and trading activity of banks, make them smaller. Oh. Well, everybody loves the plan, at least they do in Europe. Of course, the Frenchman and the Brits don't want to actually commit to doing that plan. I mean, they're applauding us for getting rid of those big evil banks, you betcha. The French are saying, yes, that is right, you should do that yourself. This is like Honda congratulating GM on going green because, you know, GM comes out and says, we're going to make only cars and we're going to sell cars that run 296 miles a gallon and you got to plug it in at night. Nobody's going to buy those things. What do you think? Honda would say, oh, no, you guys shouldn't do that. Oh, no, that wouldn't be fair. Of course Honda's going to say, yeah, you keep going. It's impossible to sell cars like that. That's what's happening here. Bravo, bravo, says the French. That sentiment is not shared here in America. Senior Wall Street bankers now are headed to the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, to lobby against the plan. And it's not just this plan investors hate. This is incredible. Bloomberg polled its subscribers. 77% say President is anti-business. 81% say they're not confident or even somewhat confident in the President's ability to handle a financial crisis. That's hard for me to believe. The community organizer who told America he could stop the oceans from rising if we just inflated our car tires doesn't know how to solve the economy problem? You don't say. So why would we pursue an agenda that our friends in Europe all love but won't do? An agenda that the overwhelming majority of Americans are against and the business community is against. Does it make sense to you? Yeah, me neither. Until I realized you just have to follow the progressive circle of influence. Because here it is. Here's the president. We've got a problem. Oh, no, we've got a problem we've got to solve. Right? Okay, so what does he do? He appoints somebody to look into it. Phil Angelides. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Phil, you get to the bottom. Yes, sir, Mr. President, right away. So he comes up with a plan. He and the president sell it. Well, who's over now in Europe? George Soros is fantastic. He's in Davos pitching for it now. Soros is practically the only investor that is still on board with Obama's bank plan. Why? Let's follow the circle of influence. The president, our buddy Phil, just serving you. Soros has the Tides Foundation. He heavily donates to this. It's great. And one of the biggest projects in the Tides Foundation that he gives tons of money to is the Apollo Alliance. The Apollo Alliance, remember him? Creating green jobs. That's what he did. Oh, and we got Jeff Jones here. He was part of the Weather Underground. I like this picture because in case you don't, I mean, let's say something bad happens, you can always check the glasses for his fingerprints. This was taken, you know, when he was blowing things up with this guy in the 60s. Okay, so wait a minute, hold it, there's something missing. Oh, I remember what it is. This is so weird. Who's the chairman of the Apollo Alliance? This guy. He just happens to be the chairman of the Financial Crisis Inquiry Commission that's getting to the bottom of the banking mess. Wow. That looks like that's going to get solved. It's the progressive circle of life. Except no cute little Simba that's held up at the end. It's not going to work. You know why? Because where are you? You're over here. This is you. And you're yelling at the top of your lungs, help! Goes from here to here. Doesn't work. These are the people that are creating the problems, making them much, much worse. So now let me show you another problem, completely unrelated, that they're solving now. We have it? Okay. Barack Obama, you know what we need to create more jobs. So he gets this guy. Create green jobs. Yeah, he's great. You know that guy's from? That guy. Tides Foundation, which starts the Apollo Alliance and hires him and him. And he was good friends with this guy, and he's the chairman. Wow, look it's just yet another circle. The Apollo Alliance gave us the stimulus. They're the ones who wrote it. Don't ask me, ask Harry Reid. These are the people that wrote the stimulus package. Hey, by the way, how are those new jobs working out for you? This is great, isn't it? Because this guy and this guy, after talking to this guy, said that the plan these guys made is going to make sure that we never have employment higher than 8%. Yeah. Last time I checked, but I'm not a Harvard professor, I think 10 is bigger than 8. Once again, you're found nowhere in this circle. You know where you should be? You should be here, you should be here, you should be here, and here, and here, and here, and here. You should be all over this. It should start and end with you. You see what happens here? It's a game. It's a game designed by these people. It's a game that benefits these people. And the reason why you're not in this is because they don't really care. Over the weekend, 3 different Obama advisors were playing this game. Now listen carefully, watch this.
The Recovery Act the president passed has created more than, or saved more than 2 million jobs.
The Recovery Act saved thousands and thousands of jobs.
Largely as a result of the recovery plan that's put money back into our economy, that saved or created 1.5 million jobs.
I'm trying to figure it out. It was thousands of jobs. It was 1.5 million jobs, and it was 2+ million jobs, and that's what everybody's hammering them on now. Can't they even get their numbers right? Oh, this is exactly what they want you to talk about. Let me tell you something. If I said to you right now, you know what? This is the 2nd most important show ever on television in the history of television. This is the 2nd most important show. You'd say that's ridiculous, right? Right. Just like if I told you that we were, creating 2 million jobs, you'd say that's ridiculous. You wouldn't talk about the 3 million jobs we've lost since the stimulus package passed. What are you doing? We're sitting here and arguing, which one is it? Thousands, 1.5, or 2+ million? See, if I said this was the 2nd most important show in the history of television, there'd be a lot of people who would go, well, that's ridiculous, but what does he think number 1 was? I can get you to assume that I'm even anywhere near that number. I'm not. This is a stupid 5 o'clock show. These numbers are just as bogus as my claim. So how do you do it? You don't play the game anymore. Do you remember that movie with Matthew Broderick, War Games? Do you remember the ending of that? Well, it's a stupid movie. I like it, but it's still a stupid movie. Remember when the computer's going to blow up the whole world? Watch the ending.
What's it doing?
It's learning.
only winning move is not to play.
It learns the only winning move is to not play. Stop playing the game. Stand up for honor and integrity, honesty, for our founders, our Constitution, everything that is true and honest, everything that they stood for 200 years ago. You stand for those things and you stop playing their political game, because there's no way to win. Back in a minute.